What's up everybody? With Enter China's next launch right around the corner, we thought it'd be fun to sit down with one of our very first members in Enter China to hear his insights and reflection about being part of our community. Enjoy. What's up everybody? Welcome back to The Elevator Life. As we are opening our doors to Enter China again in June, I thought it'd be very cool to do an interview with actually one of our original members of Enter China who happened to be in town on a business trip. So Nick, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Thanks Nick, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, two Nicks, so don't get confused. And let's just jump right into it, man. You know, you've been in EC almost a year now. Can we get a little introduction on you and some background?
Yeah, so I founded a company called Best Coast Wines, and we started by sourcing wines and trying to put them under our own brand, and this is actually our brand of wine here. This is 8 Sides.
Real good stuff out of California.
Yeah. So my partner's a winemaker, and we focus on sourcing great value wines at good prices. And that was our initial value proposition when we came to China. And now we've kind of pivoted a little bit, and we're doing some more custom work, but we're also supporting our own brand. Actually, I just got notice that we just got our license to go direct to consumer in California. So
literally checked his iPhone like
it's
a minute
just
ago
happened.
before this.
Yeah,
so we're celebrating a little bit tonight.
Everyone out there in California, buy a case of 8 Sides.
Yeah, I mean, here's one of his prototypes from almost a year ago. This is proof that he was here.
Yeah.
Bottling's improved, corks have improved.
Yeah, so I mean, the story of the prototype is actually kind of funny, and we might be getting a little off track, but I basically just bought this finished wine from a winery, ripped the label off, I don't know if I've even told you this story yet.
I don't think so.
Ripped the label off, put my label on it, brought it over here, and tried to sell it to Nick.
Yeah.
So he didn't buy it. Smart kid.
Yeah, I know my palate a little bit, but yeah, it's cool to see. You know, he's been here. It's almost a year now. Like 8 months ago, he was here. So just cool to see him back here on another trip, and he's penetrating the Hong Kong market as well. And may I ask, why China? Why were you interested in China first and foremost?
Yeah, so as you know, you're a wine business vet as well, and China's the 5th biggest wine market in the world currently, the largest red wine market. The opportunity is huge, and granted, that's only about 20% imports. There's probably only about 40 million people in the country that can afford an imported bottle of wine, but most importantly, that number is probably doubling every 2 years.
Yep, absolutely.
So the growth and the potential are really unbelievable here. I think that can be said about a lot of different industries. The middle and upper classes are growing exponentially at this point. I mean, that's not going to go on forever, but there's a lot of growth to happen here, and there's a hungry middle class that's looking for these luxury experiences. Yeah, so that's how we ended up.
And I think the maturing market is just such a key point that a lot of people neglect, is that this market is growing into a global standard consumer. Like Western markets, they're going to have the buying power, and a lot of people kind of overlook that right now.
Yeah, and that's really the most exciting part for like the Knicks here, because we're coming into the market with a quality product at a good price, and as the market matures, that quality matters, and that's what's really exciting for us going forward.
10 seconds. I'm not sure if I turn the mic on. Tim will cut this. Great, mic is on. Alright, I'm just going to go right back into if EC helped to find success in China.
Yes.
Alright. I mean, that's awesome to hear about the market. Exciting. And I mean, obviously an EC interview, I'm curious to know, I haven't even asked you this, has EC helped you find success or helped you navigate kind of the choppy waters of China?
Yeah, so EC was probably my main form of education about the ins and outs of the Chinese wine market.
Very cool.
So,
very cool.
So it was lucky for me that was your business, because that was extraordinarily helpful. And I mean, I know you're involved in a lot of different businesses, but early on, your help in the wine industry was extremely helpful to me, just to kind of figure out how distribution worked, how customs worked, most importantly.
That's a headache.
Oh man. But now I know personally how much of a headache it is. But yeah, so Enter China was really this incredible resource for me early on, just figuring out like which way was up in this country.
Absolutely.
And like having this community of people that you could ask questions of. And if you're really serious about doing business over here, and if you're pretty new to the culture, pretty new to the country, it's an invaluable resource. I found it incredibly useful.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah. I don't know if I've told you that.
Yeah, no, actually, I just was holding off on these questions just so it'd be natural and genuine. So that's makes me very happy to hear we're providing value. So I mean, sounds like it's a great resource. You've been finding success with as the community grows and as an individual business owner. And I always have to ask this: you're not based here, so what kind of advice do you have for people who don't want to, jump all the way into China, but they want to get involved in this market?
Yeah, so I live in Seattle. I'm based in the U.S., and for that reason, we have strength on the other side of the ocean. Our strength really isn't in China, so we had to really work hard. We had the back end, we had the operations. We really had to work hard to figure out what our channels were going to be. Mm-hmm. And so your question was around how to figure that out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just advice, for penetrating this market if you're not full time on the ground here.
Maybe you know what? It's okay. So one, it's really tough. It's very challenging, and you need to start from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And you need to, I worked through my personal network. I worked through the EC network. I worked through basically any possible lead that I had that knew anything about China, that knew anything about the wine market here, that was possibly involved. And you really have to work that network hard, because the key is you can't just walk in here and think you're gonna sell whatever you're selling, because to be perfectly honest, I was guilty of that. When I walked in the first time, I thought, I've got a great product in this bottle, it's going to fly off the shelves. A great product, great price, is going to fly off the shelves.
Yep.
That was not the case.
We were the same. It's just, and I think a lot of people look at China as just this get-rich-quick scheme, when that's not the case.
China's I've over the last year, I've spent 6 weeks here, and that's seems like a lot, right? That's a lot because I don't live here, and I've realized that it's a get rich slowly type place. You have to take the time to build the relationships, and that sometimes means in your first year spending 6 weeks in China.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's tough, and that takes personal and financial sacrifice, but that's what it takes. And give yourself the best running start you can, and make sure you use every community resource that you have.
What I think is great also, it's like you said, it's not a get rich quick scheme, but as you're building these relationships, I would also say you're building these long-term value-generating businesses, which is most exciting. It's a longevity kind of business. You're not in it for a one-and-done kind of deal.
Absolutely. Your partners will respect your commitment, and the value of relationships is important everywhere, but I think particularly important in China, and it takes time to invest in those relationships and to form them well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, everybody, we just want to do a quick interview with EC launch around the corner, opening our doors again with one of the founding members, I suppose. So it's great to have you on, Nick. Any questions? Go ahead and ask us. We're going to link to Nick's website, about his project, what he's up to. I believe it's, what's your domain?
It's www.bestcoastwines.com.
Bestcoastwines.com.
If you ever want to talk about the wine business in China, you obviously have Nick here, but I'm happy to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll link to Nick's stuff down below the episode. And again, hope you enjoyed and learned something about China. Cheers, everyone. We hope you learned something in today's episode. And if you want to learn more about how you can become a member of Enter China, please go to www.enterchina.co. Cheers, everyone.